Hello, Brief Calculus students. I'm going to talk to you about order of operations and order of solving. Plus, I'll throw in an inverse function. You might have heard this phrase, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." I hadn't heard it until I got kids in grade school. But it's the order of operations with parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. Sorry. I put sometimes fractions in there because fractions can have like invisible parentheses. And exponents can include like a square root or log base 3 of x. Those are logs. Multiplication and division have the same order, which means it doesn't matter which one you do first. Addition and subtraction also have same order, so we just pretty much do those left to right. So here's any expression. There's no equal sign, so it's not an equation or a function. It's just an expression, so we can use the order of operations. First one, we can't do anything with the parentheses because those are unlike terms. We can't combine unlike terms. So we go to exponents and get 8 squared is 64. And this is also like an invisible parenthesis around the 4 plus 5, so that's 9. And then the 2 plus 1 is 3. That's why I said, and sometimes fractions for order. Now the next thing we do is multiplication to get rid of this. And then we can get rid of the parentheses. So 2 times 64 is 128. 3 times 64 is 192. And then 9 divided by 3. So I'm just going left to right. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And we combine the like terms of 192 and negative 3 and get, that should be a plus. Pause. There! Okay, we have a plus. Now, when I go over this with every single class I teach. I mean, we're talking from basic algebra to calculus to trig, whatever. I go over this order of operations because then I can use it to go over order of solving. So I say it's like a present. You know, you've got this nice little expression that you want to wrap up into a nice little bundle. And if I go back, you can see that this was a crazy expression, but it wrapped up into a nice little bundle. So let me go to the next one. So here's a present. So I have to do this in order. I'm going to find a box and throw it in a box, and then I'll find some wrapping paper, and then I'll put a pretty bow on it. There's an order to wrapping a present. It's if I try to, put the bow on and then put it in the box, then put on, it doesn't look quite as nice, and it's not such a neat little package, is it? The order of operations is pretty standard, and people expect you to do things in a certain order. So, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, it just wraps your package up all nice and neat. So, what if you want to unwrap the package? Remember it was all nice and neat? Well, we have to unwrap it in a certain order as well. We've got to, come on. We have to take off the bow. Let's take off the wrapping paper, and then open the box, and we'll get the present. You see how we had to do it in the opposite order? So the order of solving is in the opposite order of the order of operations, and it will have an equal sign in there. So we start with undoing addition and subtraction, then we undo multiplication, division, we undo exponents, roots, logs, we undo parentheses, sometimes fractions. So it's like we're going to unwrap and solve, and x equals what? It's this little mystery or question, which is why math teachers get so excited. Oh, look, we have another treasure hunt. So this is a function. You might recognize it. It is degrees Celsius times 9/5 plus 32 equal degrees Fahrenheit. So I want to unwrap this. Remember, order of solving, we undo addition and subtraction first. So we undo addition with subtraction. So it's now on this side. And it's like a balance beam. I tell students that what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So now we're left with multiplication and division. And for me, I like to get rid of fractions before I do anything. So I'm just going to undo this division of a fraction with multiplication. And we are then going to have to put this, I'm either going to have to multiply it by 5, so I get 5f minus 110, or I can just put it in parentheses, like this. So it lets me know that that needs to be done first. We have to subtract 32 from degrees Fahrenheit. We're left with a multiplication problem, so we get rid of it with division. And I wrote 3 possible answers up here, although one of them is wrong. You can leave the fraction as 5/9. You can multiply the 5 through. Boy, I was really off with 110. It's 160. You can leave it with a 9. This one's wrong because it doesn't have that set of parentheses, which is very important. You have to subtract that 32 first. In order of operations says you have to do your fraction first. So that's where the parentheses come in. That's why it's important to have those parentheses. So another one of some of the same numbers. Okay, again, order of solving means we're looking for the x, and so we've got to undo everything that's around the x. Rip off the wrapping paper. You already took off the bow. You got to rip open the box, pull out the packing, and okay, there we go. Woohoo! We found x. So we can't undo parentheses until the last. And this is still kind of messy, so why don't we go ahead and tidy this up. Let's see, this is 9/3. There we go. 64 equal, okay, so parentheses times 64 equals 3. Okay, so parentheses is last, so let's get rid of multiplication. Okay, so, yep, so parentheses, multiplication, there we go. So we undo the multiplication because that's first on the list. We're left with a fraction. Then we can, like, undo the parentheses, which just is a matter of taking it off. And now, whoo, we're back to addition and subtraction. It's okay to go backwards, to circle around. So we'll undo the addition, and then we've got multiplication here, so let's undo the multiplication. And it can simplify down a great deal from there, but I want to leave it in this form so you can see exactly what steps I took. Okay, so I promised you an inverse function. So here's the order of solving, and let's see, we've got addition, subtraction first, so let's get rid of subtraction. Let's add 1 to both sides, and we get y plus 1 equals 3x. So that's multiplication, so let's undo multiplication with division. So y plus 1 divided by 3x, or 3 equals x. So the way it works with inverse functions is you have a function and you kind of solve it this way, and then the inverse part comes in with that little -1 where we replace, okay, so this one says the variable in the function is x. So the variable in the function is x. This one, the variable is now y, so the inverse function has the input value of y, and then I just put the function right there. Y plus 1 divided by 3. I was about to say 3x. So, order of operations and order of solving plus an inverse function. I hope this helps.